Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm headed up to Fort Collins to take all of the 1948 Keller Super Chief engine parts to the machine shop. So I'm working with another YouTuber and he does a bunch of good work. So I can't wait to take this up there, check out his setup and have him go through everything and know that it's gonna be spot on. I have the Keller Super Chief block strapped in, the crank's there. I also am bringing the clutch. You can see that's an asbestos clutch and the pressure plate. The flywheel has been resurfaced. I have all the pistons, the camshaft, the head, all the valve springs and valve train in that box, and everything should be good to go. I might end up talking to him about ordering new pistons before he does all of the machine work, because I want to resolve this pitting issue. I don't know if this is going to progress since it's carbureted. It's you know, it's really hard if you're going to drive up Pikes Peak, which I want to do with the car, to keep your AFRs in check. So I'm going to talk to him about that. Like I said before, I'm going to Cerakote the pistons and the rods and all that stuff. Let's head up there in the Ranger. Hopefully there isn't any issues, because I have not driven this car or this little truck at all, except I drove it home last night and back and it did okay. So hopefully, cross my fingers, hope we don't have any issues. I just dropped the Hercules off to Nick and his dad. You should know their YouTube channel. They're a lot bigger than mine. But he's gonna fix this thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll go through and kind of get it cleaned up, see what all we need to do, but we're gonna definitely do, you know, hard seats and do a valve job on it, possibly bore it, deck the block, surface the head, and basically try to get it as ready for you as you need it to be to go back together, I suppose.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have been wanting.
Make sure you have everything ready to go, and we'll make some videos on it, or at least one video. We'll see how much work we end up having to do to it, but you know, try to send some people from my channel over to yours, and
yeah, vice versa. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I had somebody email me probably a couple weeks before I finally saw your message there, and they had said something about you doing this project, and I think I was busy with it. So I mean, Instagram is like the worst, trying to get messages.
I was gonna say I get too many messages anyway, and trying to filter through, and knowing that I'm booked out anyway, it's hard to work people in. But
yeah,
we'll get it going and see what we can get sorted on it. Try to make it better than new. Yeah, that'll be my goal.
Yeah, something that'll actually like run, because I want to drive it. I want to drive it a little bit, but
yeah, I mean, we'll make it reliable, you know. So
yeah,
figure out what all it needs and make it happen.
Cool.
This is the older seat and guide machine, so we'll probably do a little bit of work on this machine. Actually, if we're repairing those bolt holes, the threads, we'll probably be doing it on this machine. This is a machine my dad started with in '83, so it's kind of the older version of this machine, which is, we bought this new in 2020. This is what I'll finish the valve seats on. So I guess we'll see where how all that comes out, but yeah, I'll get that all done. Kind of back over this way, this is the machine that we do connecting rods on. So if the rods need to be resized, once you get the bolts up to us, we'll check the size and everything, and if they need resized, we can hone them right there. We'll grind the caps and grind the rods, and then resize them over there. This is the boring and surfacing machine. I'm actually working on, this is a 350 Chevy that we're getting ready to rough bore, kind of as a follow-up to one of our more recent videos. We're gonna do a build series on a 383 stroker for a customer. So getting that up today, trying to film that and see if I can get that video out this weekend, because I'm a little behind. Then, so I guess if we end up boring your block it'll be over here, and this is the same machine that we surface the heads and surface the deck of the blocks on.
Yeah.
This is the cylinder hone. So once you bore the cylinders, you have to go in with a honing tool and actually finish them to the proper size, so that you have the proper piston wall clearance, as well as making sure that you have the surface finish that you need for your rings to seal and keep everything lubricated and you know, make it run like it should. So
yeah,
that's
not smoke.
Yep. This is all kind of a mess right now. This is kind of the assembly area. That machine is a crankshaft balancing machine, so that's where we put the crankshaft up, and it'll spin the crank and tell us where we need to either add or remove weight on the counterweights, get it running smoothly, basically.
Yeah.
That's more of a, you run into that more on race type stuff. It's not as important on something like this, but we'll see what we need to do there. This is the crankshaft grinder, only machine in the shop that I still don't know how to run myself.
Yeah, these look sketchy when they're running.
Yeah, it's a beast. So probably the most expensive machine in here too, but it's complicated.
Yeah.
So it's I guess we'll check out the crank and see where it needs to be, see what bearings are available. Sometimes on older stuff like this, that's kind of what dictates how acceptable you are, you know, how wide you're going to let your tolerances be, because sometimes you don't have the option of going to the next undersize on your rod bearings or main bearings. So if parts are available and you know we can go to the next size, that's usually what we would do, but sometimes you gotta let things slide a little bit even though you don't want to. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of the rundown. I guess over there where we started was kind of the tear down and cleaning area, but
yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff in here.
Yeah, it's packed in here pretty. Yeah, this is the cleaning guy. I don't know if you've seen the joke on the channel is that this is the guy who's been working for us for 40 years and all he does is clean. So I always throw in a clip of him cleaning something. I had a TikTok that went viral where I jokingly said that he was the cleaning guy for the company and that in 40 years we hadn't promoted him. And we started getting phone calls of people cussing us out about what a terrible company we are for having this guy work for us for 40 years and not ever promoted him.
Yeah.
It's like, he's the owner.
Yeah, TikTok's funny. Now that I'm back from dropping all of the engine components off in Fort Collins, I'm going to take these wheels right here off the Keller to be straightened. I believe they're pretty close, but I put them on the tire machine and they look like they're a little bit out of round on the lip, or it could be the tire machine, but I want to make sure that these are perfectly true. I'm gonna drop off the wheels. I already took one in. Just finished the wheels. Really fast turnaround time. It took them less than a day to fix the wheels. They said the 2 of them were good, and 2 of them, the lips were a little bit bent, so he straightened everything out, which is really nice. So now what I need to do is blast these in powder coat. Unfortunately, was just about to powder coat these and then noticed a bunch of little pitting on a few of the wheels, which I didn't want to have to. Right here you can see it. All this you would see after it's powder coated, which really is, you know, kind of sucks because I wanted to see these in the butter pecan. I think that color is going to be great on these wheels. But also the rear seat, they blasted it. You can see all these pinholes. There's holes back there. So what I need to do is repair all this. I'm gonna put a new piece of tubing in. I may end up having to find 2 wheels. This is the worst one. This other one right here, both the front ones had pitting in them. The rear ones were actually pretty nice wheels, but yeah, I'm gonna have to figure this out. They're off a Studebaker Champion, So hopefully I can find 2 good wheels that aren't pitted or aren't rusted. The only reason these rusted was because the lead paint was pretty much gone off of them, and it was, you know, the tires were flat. They're kind of sitting next to a bunch of weeds and dirt. So let's take these back to the shop and then figure out what we're going to do about it. Having him blast the seat frame has confirmed my suspicions of the frame. So I was thinking that this rust probably wasn't, you know, I know it's pitted, but I didn't think it would blast through. And this frame looked exactly the same. You can see some stuff in there. I wonder if that's just when they welded everything together, if that's just residual stuff that was in the tubing. But what I'm gonna have to do is all of this rotted tubing I'm going to replace, as well as these plates. This plate probably doesn't need to be replaced, but I'm going to replace it just to do, so it's all nice and brand new and it doesn't have all of this rust pitting. This bar right here also is going to get replaced, and then in the next video I'm going to do the frame now that I have everything from Send Cut Send. I'm also going to have to do the same repairs to the other seat frames for the front seat. Everything to the frame should be pretty simple. I got everything bent and ready from Send Cut Send, all these pieces right here, and this is just really nice because everything will be new. I won't have to worry about going back and fixing this or powder coating over something that is like this, and I won't have to worry about any structural issues, which we really don't have any super invasive rust on this thing, but it'll just be nice to have all of this ready to go and not have to worry about it. Unfortunately, I was unable to get anything powder coated in prismatic powders or Cerakoted. So I thought I was going to be able to at least get the wheels done. You know, the seat frame, I had my inkling that it was going to blast some holes through it, but I wanted to see what it was going to look like so I could compare that rust to the frame rust and know that all of the pieces I had Send Cut Send made were worthwhile and that I didn't, do it for nothing. So that just kind of verified where I was thinking. But the wheels, I didn't think there was going to be as much damage on them as kind of came up after they're blasted. So there's some, one wheel has a nick. The front wheels, obviously the tires were flat and they're kind of sitting in the dirt for a long time. So it kind of makes sense that that bottom lip has some pitting and rust. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to fix that wheel. The powder coater said that a lot of guys that he has come in that has similar issues like I do, even on the seat frame, he was saying that they just use JB Weld and that you could powder coat over it. And I was like, no, that's not something I want to do. And that's, I don't want to just cover up some rust with JB Weld and then, have it come back later on in the future. I'm going to fix everything correctly. The wheels, hopefully, if I can't fix them, hopefully I can find 2 new wheels or 2 good wheels that aren't bent, that don't have pitting or rust or anything like that, or maybe a set of 4 that are good. They're pretty common. They came off of a Studebaker Champion, so I don't think it's going to be too difficult to find them, but who knows? I may end up taking those wheels to a steel wheel repair shop, showing them like kind of what I have going on and seeing if they could fix all those issues before I have them powder coated. The one good thing about this video was I dropped all of the parts off to Jamsi, which I cannot wait. He said at the end of the month he'll have the engine done, which will be a big step towards having the car running and driving. By the time I get it, I should have the frame done. We should have most of the running gear done. The one thing that I'm kind of concerned about getting done is the knee shocks, as well as the torsion suspension with the rubber. So I'm probably going to end up having to figure out a way to either add polyurethane or rubber, and hopefully it works. But I'm going to end the video here. If you like these videos, make sure to click the subscribe button, throw a thumbs up, throw a comment below. As always, see you guys next time.